No, they're the dumbest people I ever seen on TV. I mean, I just put them in the same bowl as Kamala and everybody else. They're just they're evil individuals who do not care, who have never done anything in their lives. She has never done it. She's never acted before. I mean, she did a TV show and then she dated a prince and now she's a Democrat. She's this, she's that. Now she's black, she's white, she's this. She picks whatever she wants. She's just really dumb, not very bright. He's dumb too. What has he ever done in his sorry ass life? Nothing. So they both together, they make a perfect couple. And as far as representing Hollywood and all this stuff, it's funny enough, like Hollywood is like 2%. Like 2% of these people are able to gather a lot bigger percentage. It's like if you look at the mass of America, it's like less people live in California, like in the majority of the country, everybody lives on the East Coast, and a small percentage lives in like California, and then everybody wants to just go as far as they can from that place. You know what I mean? So for them to go live there and raise money for Biden, who has destroyed, and it wasn't even Biden because I don't even know if the guy's alive. I don't even know if the guy was an imposter. All these, who knows what is the truth? But he's never run this country. It's the system that's been running this country into the ground. He has not made any decisions. So they obviously know about the system. They're owned by the system, and they've never done anything in their lives. So they don't represent me or anybody or my community for sure, and definitely not my country. So the only reason why they're here is because of our beautiful amendments in our Constitution.
I am delighted to be joined now by Antonio Sabàto Jr, who was one of the biggest names in American acting until he endorsed Donald Trump. It is so great to speak to you, Antonio. I've followed your career right back from the days of Melrose Place in the 1990s. And you were a huge name and you were totally accepted within the Hollywood community. So I'm fascinated to hear about how and why you decided, and by the way, I fully support your decision to do this, but how and why you decided it was more important to be honest about your views than give in to what really is shocking censorship in Hollywood.
Well, first of all, hi to you and to your listeners, your viewers, and everyone. I didn't lose anything. I mean, I started my career. I just spoke my mind about something that most people in Hollywood were against and still are against. So it's just how it is in life. When you disagree with people that are very ignorant about a lot of things, it's just how life is nowadays. The world is controlled by people that are very smart and they make things happen and they control the little people and they control little people up here in their brains. So we live in a society where, there's a lot of technology, there's a lot of information, there's a lot of things we can get acquired to, but at the same time, I think we're the most ignorant society ever lived on this planet at the same time. So very dangerous, but I also see that there's hope for the future. And like I said, I didn't lose anything. I spoke my mind, and I probably gained a lot of respect from myself and my family as well when you speak something like that, and you don't care what happens. I really don't care what happens. I'm myself. I've always been myself. I'm a common sense kind of guy, and I don't follow the herd. I don't follow the sheep. I'm a lion.
I love that. I love that. And do you know what? Having been cancelled by the mainstream media myself for my political views, actually, I guess what you do gain is you gain freedom, and freedom is priceless. And actually, once you have that freedom, there's so
Yeah.
much that you can do with it. But look, can we take a step back though? Because I am fascinated in your journey when it came to politics, because the assumption that we have here in the UK is that the vast majority of big name actors in Hollywood are aligned to the Democrat Party. Was that the case with you, or were you secretly always a Republican?
No, I've been with both parties. I'm actually independent right now, make up my own mind. And I actually got into politics because of where I lived in California. I really love that state. I don't live there anymore. I think they destroyed the state of California,
Oh,
and they've
yes,
been
they
doing it
have.
for many years, and they trashed it, and they don't care about. But they do a lot of things that for purpose reasons and for money. But I got into politics because I wanted to find out. I wanted to educate myself. I was a Democrat. I was a Republican. I could care less about neither. I care about the policies, and I care about the person behind it and his or her views or spiritual views and things like that. So for me, I got the chance to see both parties, and they both are very bad. They do some good things, really minimal, but most the political world in this country, like it is in your country, like it is all over the world, is about money, and it's not about the people, which is sad. And I think we need to get back to the people doing what is right for them. And if it takes a revolution of some sort, which is I think in history is always gets to a place where we have to fight back for common sense and bring God and family and things that are important and reality and truth. And there's only one truth. There's not many truth. There's two genders, male and female, and that's it.
Yes.
There's a God, and we live on a planet. There are certain things that you cannot change, but stupidity of the masses and the ignorance will lead you to chaos, and that's what's going on in the world right now, and especially in your country, well, all over the place,
Oh, well, I
everywhere.
mean, it's crazy here. I mean, it's
Mhm.
absolutely insane. And I think you're right. We're heading to the point where there does need to be a political revolution. I obviously hope that political revolution is non-violent. We've seen a lot of violence here in the UK over the past few days. But the thing is, the Uni Party, which for us is the Conservatives and Labour, for you is the Democrats and Republicans, have let us down. But I guess that's where Trump comes in, because he effectively was beaten down by the Republican establishment, but he didn't care, did he? So you
Well, he
have.
does care. He just cares too much. That's the thing. He cares for this country. If America does not exist, if the freedom of this country, if that flag does not being taken serious and people were allowed to burn that flag all over the place and disrespect our nation, the United States of America, which is always there to help everybody else. Right now, the virus is internally. I think that's what the matrix, what the system is trying to do is kill everything from the inside in America and in England, all over the world, in Israel and Ukraine and Russia and China and all over the place. It's what the system does. It brings people to fight against each other instead of let everyone just kind of live their lives and and try to communicate with the world, try to give back to the world instead of just fighting and fighting and fighting. But that's what they do. The system does that. It controls the stock market is crashing. All those things are there
Mm.
for a reason. They don't just happen by coincidence. It's actually manipulated by the system in higher places. And there's few people in the world, probably a dozen of them, who control the planet and they control the outcome of everything. And that's it's unfortunate, but they can't
Do you
control
think
God.
they're wanting to drive us to World War III?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. It's been going on for such a long time that it's about to burst. You know, when you put so much pressure into a pot and you close it and you close it and you restrict, this whole thing about attacking our children, attacking our religions, attacking everything, putting Muslims against Jews and Jews against Christians, and, and all this other stuff. And then we have these other people who bring a male into fighting a female,
Oh,
and just
God, I know.
destroying the way of life of humanity as a whole is what they're trying to do. And if they succeed, what's going to happen is that what God does, and He's always done this every single time, He will flood the planet and He will destroy everything that does not make any sense anymore because He created us to be pretty good at what we do. But now we're just internally killing ourselves, and riots and violence, and the truth is being changed into the lies is being changed into the truth, and it's very dangerous. But I also, like I said, I think God at the end, when we're forced against the wall, what people tend to do is that they rebel and they want their lives back, and I think that's what we're getting to now.
Yeah, and obviously we've seen that in quite a big way over the past few years with what they tried to do with us during the COVID pandemic, for example. So in July, so just last month, you endorsed Trump again for the 2024 election. As you say, you're independent now. So talk me through that decision.
I endorsed Trump from the moment he stepped down the escalators years ago. There's no, if you have any brain cells left, if you understand the concept and not go for colors or genders or whatever the heck they're trying to do, but just common sense, You understand that Trump has done 4 years with no wars. Trump has helped me and my life and my country for 4 years while he was running this country. It's not about Trump. It's not about our president. It's more than that. It's about the country, the future of our nation, the world. Look what they're doing. Look what they've been doing. We have so-called a president in the White House right now. We don't even know where the guy is. He hasn't been
Yeah.
able to come out. He doesn't speak. We don't even know if it's a real guy. It's an imposter. Now, the next person in line is one of the dumbest people on the planet,
Mm.
Kamala, who has never won, who's never made anything logic out of her brain come out. So we're at a place right now where the devil is winning. The devil is actually on our planet right now and ruling all this mess. Uh, but like I said, he's not going to rule over God. He's not going to rule over common sense and love and faith and all that. And that's what America fights for. America fights for that, for the real freedom. Because right now we don't have freedom in our country. You can speak about this. You can speak about kids going, oh, I have a 9-year-old and she or he wants to be a blah, 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 and all this other stuff, and allow dangerous stuff happen to our children, human trafficking, child trafficking in our country, on our border. It's just the list goes on of all the stuff that has happened. It's put there for a reason. And we need warriors of God. We need warriors of God to step up and go, we're going to fight for humanity, for our God, for what's important. And we're not going to be silent anymore, because otherwise we don't have a future whatsoever.
So we saw you there with Trump and also with Melania too. What's your personal relationship with them like? And talk to me about what Donald's like
I
as a
am the
man.
guy that, yeah, I'm the guy that sits in the back of the room and watches everything. I've met President Trump and his lovely family many times, but I don't want anything from them. I'm not the guy that sells T-shirts. I'm not the guy that sells products with Trump on it. I'm the guy that fights for him in the trenches. I'm the guy who fought for him from the beginning, middle, and end. I don't want anything from the man. I introduced the man many times. I am proud to stand by him and for him. I don't talk to him. I don't, we're not in, I'm going to call you, call me, but he knows and his family knows if there's a guy that's going to fight for you in the industry, in entertainment or in sports, because I'm a professional athlete as well. And everything that I do, it's me, because I don't care about the negative stuff. I don't care about the name calling. I don't care about the dark side and how I don't care about any of that. That doesn't bring anything to me except like I just feel sorry for them. And my life is going to keep on going. I'm going to keep on training. I can keep loving my family. God is always going to be with me. So, and I'm going to keep making movies and doing everything I want, whether they like it or not. To me, it doesn't matter. But I'm just very fortunate and blessed to be in this country, to come, to have been able to have a family that brought me and my sister to the greatest nation on earth. And we never took anything for granted. We waited in line. We did everything by the book. We never took any money from these welfare programs that Governor Gavin Newsom, this awful person in California, is doing for many, many years. All these people are put into place to destroy and keep destroying.
Yeah.
It's like Hollywood people put this propaganda. If you're a studio person, you have a big movie, you're always going to talk for the Democrats. Don't care how bad they are. You're going to talk about Biden, no matter how bad the guy is, or now Kamala, and they're going to raise money. I don't understand it. Hollywood used to be smart people. And now, like, there's few of us who are called conservatives or crazies or all this other stuff. We're not crazy. They are. Because if anybody votes for Biden, everybody votes for Kamala, you are out of your effing mind, because you are just another planet.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to be scared of saying, oh, I'm the bad guy because I vote for Trump, and you're the good guy because you vote for somebody who has been lying to the American people his whole life, or whatever that goes on. And also, they have destroyed the country. That it's a fact. Our country is in a mess. So I want to
But do
be
you
on.
think a lot of these Hollywood people, Antonio, are compromised or captured in some way? I mean, Candice Owens has done a lot of reporting on this in recent months, for example, to do with the P. Diddy story. We've also got the Jeffrey Epstein client list, which obviously Democrats are desperate to keep covered up. So what do you know about that
Where did it
dark
go?
side of Hollywood?
those stories, where do they go? They just come and go, and everybody forgets about P. Diddy. They went in his house, all this stuff, gone. All these stories are gone. And let's not even mention Scientology and all that other stuff that goes on with these so-called celebrities, big stars who are in this cult. All this stuff is going, nobody wants to talk about it. And I'm the crazy one. I should be making movies nonstop. The studio should hire me because I'm sane and I'm polite and I'm a hard worker. But these people are owned. You know, the George Clooney's and all these other people are owned. They say the same thing, Trump this, Trump that, and they live surrounded by trash. They live in multi-million-dollar homes in Los Angeles where you have bums, you have people living in the backyard, running naked down the street. These incidents happen all the time. People that are just mentally gone, letting them free. People are getting arrested and letting it go the next day. All these policies, it goes on and on. You know, I'm so passionate about this because they're, you know, and then you have Brad Pitt and all these other people, big stars, huge stars, making millions of dollars. They're talking nonsense. And they want Biden to run another 4 years after what he's done. Forget about Biden and Trump, the names. You put the record of Biden and you put the record of Trump without their names, and these people are still going to do that? No, they're not. They're owned by the studio. They all go to the same party, and they all have to say the same stuff, and they all have to follow the herd. And they're all sheep. So as much money as they make, as much as they think they're these big stars, mega million, whatever, they're a weak individual. So I am strength in my heart more. I have more in this little finger than all these people put together because they're weak individuals and I see them. And so I'm not going to lie and live in this lie because at 52 years old, after my life and everything, I'm like, no, I want to live in truth. I want to live in truth because God knows. So I'll fight for that. So if there's any producers with balls that want to hire an actor, a producer, director, call me up because I'm not going to lie to you and tell you all this other stuff and live in this surreal dreamland. I'm going to live in reality where we should live. We should live in reality and leave the fancy dreaming world to the entertainment world, but when you're actually making the films, but not in, there's two worlds, right? The real and the fake.
First, though, what's so important about being independent is that I'm only ever going to tell you about products that I use, truly believe in, and think will improve your life. So that's why today I want to let you know about Verso. Now, I've entered my 40s, really trying to stay healthy. Haven't been very good over the past week, but let me tell you, I'm back on it today. Exercising, doing the 16-8 fast. But what's interesting, that will only get you so far. Scientists like David Sinclair have proven we can now reverse aging with interventions that go beyond healthy habits. So I wanted a product that would enhance everything that I was doing, but that was also backed up by solid evidence. So that's why I use Cellbean by Verso every morning. It has scientifically proven ingredients that fight the effects of aging by increasing NAD+ levels. That's the stuff that powers every cell in your body. I've been taking the product for a number of months now, right at the start of my day. It has genuinely been transformative. Fasting's easier. I've lost fat. And Verso tell me that's actually due to its blood sugar regulation effects, which lead to fewer cravings. I'm sleeping better too. This product has taken years off me. I'd love you to experience the same thing. A couple of important notes. Verso publishes third-party testing from each batch produced to guarantee you're getting what you paid for. And you don't have to pay that much today, actually, because if you head right now to buy.ver.so/outspoken, you will save 15% on your first order. All you need to do is use the coupon code outspoken. I'll put the link in our YouTube and Rumble descriptions. But to repeat, that's buy.ver.so/outspoken. Use the coupon code outspoken. Well, of course, and look, I do think a lot of people just go with the herd because, as you say, it's the easy thing to do for their career and it's maybe where the money is. But what has got me thinking a lot over the past few months is you look at the Epstein list, you look at the P. Diddy situation, there does seem to be increasingly a number of people in Hollywood who are told what to do because powerful people have compromising material on them. So did you ever experience that? Did anyone ever try and capture you in that way? And do you know of other people in Hollywood who are captured because there is compromising material on them?
I think what I can tell you is the devil knows what he's doing, and when he encounters me in circumstances, whether I'm at parties or whatever, they don't want nothing to deal with me. I carry Christ I walk around with Jesus everywhere I go. So for me, I can't be bought. I can't be. So they know they're very smart people. They know who they want. They knew who they want to work with. They knew who to call and who to get. You know, the agencies, the big agencies in Hollywood, the stuff that they do. And I'm not saying all of them, but you see, if we lived in the real positive, like I'm going to do the right thing world, all these people that are lying, going for Biden or doing these pedophilia and all these stories that goes on, and even Scientology and all this other stuff, that wouldn't even exist. It would be completely cut off. And anybody related to that world wouldn't be allowed in Hollywood. But instead, all the other people are allowed to work in Hollywood. You got to
Yeah.
be like in this world of like, I got to be a Democrat, I got to do this, I got to do that, and all the genders and all this other stuff, right? And the children too, because now they moved on to something very specific. They want to attack the children in a way where they even bring it in front of your face.
Which
The
is sick.
Olympics, everything that they do right now, they're not scared of anything because the reality is, what happens to them? What happened to the people that decided to do an opening of something so disgusting at the opening of the Olympics in front of the world? What happens to them? Nothing. What happens to the people that do these kinds of films or these kinds of things, or they say these kinds of things in the media, attacking children or family values or God or Christianity? What happens to them? Nothing. You see, we're not strong enough. And Christians especially are the weakest because they talk a big game, praying God and all this stuff. And then when it comes down to the voting booth or when something serious happens, to go out there in the trenches and fight, they don't do anything. So, like I said, it's going to have to burst a little bit.
Yeah.
We're going to have to get down a little bit down and
For the
dirty.
revolution to happen. We just saw you
Yeah,
there actually with Tom Cruise. What
yeah.
was your relationship like?
I've met him several times because, I came to this country and he was like a big brother to me. He was like, he was the guy that I always looked up to, professional, top of the game, doing things that I've always wanted to do. I mean, anybody would want a career, or half of the career that Tom has. But then I look at the guy and he's not even seeing his daughter for like, because of this cult. He's not even being photographed with his daughter and all this personal stuff. And I know that we should separate the celebrity and all that, but I can't respect a man that does not see his daughter. I love my
Mm,
daughter. I love my kids. So if you're not going to see your kid because of a cult, then you know what I mean. I met a lot of people in the industry, and I have great respect for them. Even Bobby De Niro, I met him. I have great respect for the guy, but I can't see any of his movies anymore. He rubs on me. I'm going to beat on Trump. I'm going to punch him in the face. He does all this other stuff. Sit your ass down. You're not going to beat anybody up, especially now. You never beat up anybody in your life. So, I mean, that's what I'm talking about. I mean, they go out of their way to be so violent, and they come out because they're these above, everybody's equal. I don't care how much money you make. I don't care what movies you make. At the end of the day, you're still going to do everything that everybody else does because nobody's above water. And nobody can walk on water. Nobody. And I hate the fact
Is
that these
there any
celebrities.
sort of changing of the tide? I mean, we saw Amber Rose, for example, maybe not the biggest name, but still a household name endorsing Trump. Do you think more celebrities are becoming confident to express their support of him compared to at the last two elections?
I don't know until the heads of these studios and the big shots over there in Hollywood and the entertainment world are still going to be these dark figures and not have anything concrete or God given inside their soul. I'm sorry, those things are just going to keep on going. Money talks, power talks, contracts, things like that. They're like you just mentioned the Epstein, all the list, the famous list of everybody who were on those planes, who did horrible things to children and who knows what else did they do? What happens? Nothing. Nothing happens. Where are the list? And I'm sure the same people that are complaining about Trump, who always go on the air, the usual suspects, all the celebrities you always see about hating on Trump, are the same people that were on those planes.
Yeah, well, we know some of them
See
were.
what I'm saying? So
Absolutely.
it's just
Exactly.
how
So
it is.
Hollywood actually, despite trying to take the moral high ground, is actually a cesspit, isn't it? It's a cesspit in
Yeah,
so many ways. But
yeah,
the
yeah.
powerful look after their own, and it's
Oh yeah,
very rare that
like the
they're
rats.
exposed.
Rats do that very well. When you put them together close, where they're very close, they all bite each other. But if you let them roam around and they spread out, that's what they do. You see, when you follow something to the point of no return, like they follow this new woke agenda, all this other nonsense, and they follow it to the point of no return because that's how ignorance works and that's how the devil works because you have nothing spiritual, you have nothing good like that moves you, like Jesus Christ moves me, God moves me, my kids move me, the love for my family, for my girl. When I love my adopted cats, that I when I look at the love that I can receive, that's God-given love, and so when they live in this darkness of changing, of doing stuff, of changing, really changing reality and history. They've been trying to change history. They're changing reality.
Yeah.
They're
And
changing everybody's
science. Even
science,
science isn't
everything.
sacred now.
Yeah, everything,
It's
everything.
insane.
The future of
Uh,
humanity.
what did you make of the assassination attempt on Trump? Was it an inside job, and is he safe?
He's definitely not safe. He's definitely haven't had, the man has not been safe in a long time. And it's definitely an inside job. I mean, the guy's walking in the background, everything how it was set up. The FBI, the CIA, um, all the agencies in our government are terrible, terrible, led by terrible people, and who don't care about you and me. They went inside his house, they broke inside his safe. They went inside our first lady's closet, and they've been doing this nonstop to this. I mean, they've been attacking his family. They've been attacking everybody. They've been attacking me. Anybody who's on the right side of history, they attack. And if you're not strong enough, if you don't have really good, size, running in, you're not going to make it. You're going to have to apologize. Even the boxer, the Italian boxer, who had to apologize.
Oh, I know. After being beaten up by a bloke,
You see how much power
ruining
they have?
her Olympic dream, she has to apologize. And I know, I was so gutted about that,
See?
actually.
So how are we going to win a war of that magnitude where we're not standing for the truth together? And we have to stand for the truth together. And if we don't, it's just going to keep on going until, like I said, until there's a revolution. And usually that doesn't look good. Usually when we get to that point of World War III, and this is a World War III of magnitude proportion because we see everything in real time. Everything is videotaped. Everything is recorded. Everything we see feels like we're seeing it for the first time, but this has been going on forever from the beginning of time. And so, what do I think about our president being shot? Um, that was a God, God stepped in and said, enough is enough. And I'm going to protect this man, and I'm going to show you guys that miracles do happen. And that was a miracle that happened.
Oh my God.
And so
It was a
November,
one
gotta get
millimeter
our country back.
miracle, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a
Look,
miracle.
obviously, coming from the UK, have to ask you about our very own Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, who have ended up in Hollywood. Now, I don't know if you ever knew her when she was an actor
No,
or not, but they have become big supporters of Biden and are preparing to endorse, we believe, Kamala Harris. What do you
yeah.
make of them trying to take on this role as American political power players now?
No, they're the dumbest people I ever seen on TV. I mean, I just put them in the same bowl as Kamala and everybody else. They're evil individuals who do not care, who have never done anything in their lives. She has never done it. She never acted before. I mean, she did a TV show and then she dated a prince and now she's a Democrat. She's this, she's that. Now she's black, she's white, she's this. She picks whatever she wants. She's just really dumb, not very bright. He's dumb too. And what has he ever done in his sorry ass life? Nothing. So they both together, they make a perfect couple. And as far as representing Hollywood and all this stuff, it's funny enough, like Hollywood is like 2%. Like 2% of these people are able to gather a lot bigger percentage. It's like if you look at the mass of America, it's like less people live in California, like in the majority of the country, everybody lives on the East Coast, and a small percentage lives in like California, and then everybody wants to just go as far as they can from that place. You know what I mean? So for them to go live there and raise money for Biden, who has destroyed, and it wasn't even Biden, because I don't even know if the guy's alive. I don't even know if the guy was an imposter. All these, who knows what is the truth? But he's never run this country. It's the system that's been running this country into the ground. He has not made any decisions. So they obviously know about the system. They're owned by the system, and they've never done anything in their lives. So they don't represent me or anybody or my community for sure, and definitely not my country. So the only reason why they're here is because of our beautiful amendments in our Constitution. That's the only reason why
Yeah,
they're
which he
here.
attacks, though. Which he attacks.
He
I mean,
attacks
Harry
every day.
attacks the First Amendment, which is
Yeah,
completely despicable.
yeah.
Meghan does have political ambitions, though. She
Mhm,
has cozied up to Governor Newsom, actually, and she
mhm.
wants to see a path eventually to the White House. Now, look, that may sound insane, but given how you're talking about how it works and how all of these people look after each other, do you think it's possible actually that she could become a flag bearer for the Democratic Party in the future?
Oh yeah, absolutely. They probably all slept with each other. They probably did some sick, dark stuff. I wouldn't be surprised these people live in a whole different world, planet. They charge everything on the American people. Like they have a credit card, right? And it says the American people, and they just charge everything up. They charge everything up. They use the system for themselves. These people are so rich. They hang out with Gavin Newsom. Gavin Newsom has put the state of California under fire, literally destroyed and trashed that place in ways that the farmers have problems, our truck drivers have problems working there. Everybody has really high issues and problems to live in the state of California, what they shouldn't have. They should be actually be left alone, but that's a whole different story. I ran for political office there too, so I learned a big chunk of history of really what goes on in our political world. And as far as this person going in the political world, yeah, it's going to be beneficial. She's going to make a lot of money, sell a lot of books. Yeah, yeah, why not? It's very beneficial to be a politician. If you do the wrong things, you're very rich. The politicians who are very poor are the ones who are honest.
Are you going to be campaigning for Trump ahead of the election?
I'm training for a fight. I'm training. I'm also getting back to I'm doing two movies back to back.
Oh
So
wow.
I have a busy schedule. If he needs me for anything to speak for him or whatever, I'll be there, but I think he's doing just fine. He's got more energy than any other man I ever met. He's just one of the nicest persons, very smart. He always remembers every time that we see each other. Like I said, I don't bug the guy. I don't have his cell number. I don't call him. I don't sell T-shirts with his. I leave the guy alone, but he knows and his family knows that I'm there for him anytime and twice on Sunday.
Well, look, it was such a pleasure to talk to you. As I say, I've followed your career for a very long time. So glad to hear that you are still acting. And I hope
Yep.
that we will speak again as the US election approaches.
Thank you very much. God bless.
Thank you so much for watching Dan Wootton Outspoken. Please do subscribe if you want lots more clips and interviews like that. Plus, if you want to watch our totally uncensored after show, then visit www.outspoken.live.